bodies hit the floor. Let the bodies hit the floor. Let the bodies hit the floor. Let the bodies hit the floor.
I think in a role like we took on, there has to be chemistry amongst each other. And it was great that that just flowed naturally. I feel like we all had a special chemistry.
Well, we all had chemistry, but I feel like Ken and I and Dylan cast 4 really strong actresses to be in it. So even if the chemistry wasn't there, you know, these girls could act their asses off. That coupled with the fact that we were together in the middle of nowhere, in the Hojo, in Middletown, and then in this theater, which was our kind of single location. So we had a backstage with a dressing room, and that's where we were. So we were together for 14 hours a day. And anyone that's been on a film set knows that you get to know people really fast.
Yes.
You get to love
it's like
them.
a family.
Intimate,
like them.
yeah. Intimate and fast. Melantha and I had been friends for a long time, and Susie Lorraine and I had also done previous projects together, so that kind of helped, you know, knowing somebody and knowing how they work. And after day one, and you figure out like everybody's little quirks and how they work and how they memorize lines and their facial expressions. You know people, like you know your friends voice before they come in the door, and you know your friends' like attitudes and things like that. So I think that helped a lot.
You can see like the real family dynamic, you know, like they're doing these psychotic things, these guys, but then they like stop and they have conversations
There's
amongst
sisterly
each other where
bonding
they look to each other for advice, and you can see like, you know, the lawyer pipes up, and then the chemist pipes up, and everybody kind of like gives their 2 cents about why they should or should not give the guy the wire brush, or, you know, chop his toes off, or whatever psychotic thing that they were doing.
People have asked me, so how do you feel like doing a nude scene? And I'm like, well, I feel like I should go to the gym more. Feminism is doing what you want because you want. It's almost counterproductive because it's women saying that women should be clothed in order to be respected. That's kind of hypocritical, because if a man were to say that, you would call him sexist. It's not sexist to have your clothes on or off.
I think the female form is a beautiful thing, and I see no problem showing that on screen and sharing that with other people. I think it's powerful.
Well, I mean, for me, it's a twofold thing. Seregon and I both have a history with Playboy, which I think there's no more powerful stamp on a woman than the bunny head. It's an elite group of women. You're always a bunny. Once you're a bunny, you're always a bunny. It's the most respected form of nudity that you can do as a woman. So I really appreciate the fact that Hefner has made that so amazing for women to be empowered in their nudity. As a filmmaker, I know that horror films at this level need to have nudity in them to get distribution and to get sold. So if someone's got to drop their drawers, then someone's got to drop their drawers. And we actually had a really hard time casting the 5 sisters. The girls didn't like the content, or they didn't like the nudity. And at one point I said to Dylan and Ken, I'm like, let's just get strong ass actresses in here and I'll do the nudity. I remember my first film was with Trauma, and it was Terra Firma. He, you know, in his book, his filmmaking book, Make Your Own Damn Movie, pitching it for you, Uncle Lloydie, he says shoot the nude scenes on the first day. Because no one can change their mind.
If you shoot the nude scenes on the first day, that means I can actually eat lunch.
Part of the problem with independent film and nudity, I feel, is if you do it too often, you begin to become typecast as that girl who shows, you know, her breasts. So that might be part of the issue as to why some girls are iffy about doing it.
But if you do range, if you do roles that don't have nudity at all, then you can say, well, no, I'm not nude in XYZ.
I am so grateful as a horror filmmaker that the New York Horror Film Festival exists. What a pleasure it has been to deal with the people here. I came last year as a spectator and this year as a participant, and I'm looking forward to next year. And the filmmakers who are involved next year, they're in for a nice delight.
The New York City Horror Film Festival rocks my world.
I love the New York City Horror Film Festival because I've been in the horror genre for a long time, as you know. I'm just starting, like in the past 3 years, I just started to break away from that, but that's what most people know me from. So to finally have a movie in it, when I got the email from Dylan, I was like, yes! I'm so honored to be a part of it because I've seen friends' movies and colleagues' movies in here. It's fabulous. I mean, for a new filmmaker, especially a horror filmmaker, to get into one of the most prestigious festivals for horror, the horror genre, it's amazing. The shorts that played before Captured Hearts, both of them were great.
Yeah, they were really great.
I want to meet them.
Let the bodies hit the floor. Let the bodies hit the floor. Let the bodies hit the floor. Yeah!